Hello and welcome to a casted game in the northeast. We've got KauP playing the ayyubids in the lovely orange colour here, and then to the southwest we've got CrackedyHere playing the Byzantines. A quick note on the systems that the Byzantines have. In my last video I was confused about the different passive abilities that they can toggle on and off. There's a military one, a research one, and tankiness of the building one, decreased damage. It has a passive, another sort of permanent passive, which is gathering rate of nearby villagers. I thought that was one of these abilities here, but it is not, so I thought I'd just clear that up nice and early on. But yes, let's get into this game. We've got the ayyubids, and at the moment they have one strategy and one strategy only, and that tends to be the Trade Wing Bazaar. This is a very powerful age up option coming from the Trade Wing. It gives you 4 traders and you have a choice of different things to purchase with those traders or with gold that you collect. So we'll have to see what KauP decides to do, but that one is probably the strongest at the moment. But yes, like I said, we'll see. And with the Byzantines, they have a few options: mercenaries, olive oil, olive groves. I'm not too sure about builds for these guys yet. I think people are still figuring them out. It's a very complicated civ. I think probably the most complicated civ in the game at the moment. And I guess that kind of combines with the fact that some of their landmarks aren't the strongest. But yeah, as the game goes on, we'll see what CrackedyHere has in mind. Getting up to feudal now, so we'll see what he chooses. It is the Grand Winery. I believe this is a monastery building, and increases gather rate for olive oil in berry bushes, and I think in the olive groves. Obviously no olive groves yet, but we'll be having access to the berry bushes, so we'll look to get some extra olive oil coming in the early game. We'll probably look to get a little mercenary, what's it called? It is the mercenary house, and we'll see what he chooses from there. Mercenary is very important to the Byzantines, and it does look like it is the Trade Wing Bazaar. Surprise, surprise, coming out for KauP. We'll see how lucky he gets with this draw. Best ones you can get early: a couple of villagers and maybe some of the combat units that come out, as it just helps to harass. Not that Crackedy is on the gold yet, but if KauP does get those early units, he can have a good time attacking this little gold vein down here. Not too much longer on the Trade Wing, so we'll get to see what he decides to go with. We are on the same map as last time. This is Gorge, I believe. Pretty gorgeous, am I right? Right? Well, I think it is anyway. Very cool, nice hills to the what is that? Top and bottom, diagonally of the map. Probably shouldn't move the camera around quite so much. I'll make people sick. Alright, what did he get? He got some villagers, and all of his other options looked like they were the... Oh, he did get some traders as well. So we'll be sending those off to trade. Going to be a very short trade. He is putting early market down. Very interesting. So investing into these traders that he was able to get from the Trade Wing Bazaar. So I guess this first route back, these traders will actually have the entire length of the map for that trade route. Probably bring in maybe 60 to 80 gold. I think he's just waiting for these. We'll see how much these bring in. He does have the market finished now. And that was CrackedyHere aging up to the feudal age. The Grand Winery is online. They are picking olives from a berry bush. That makes a lot of sense. Moving some more workers out to the berries. Get that olive oil coming in nice and early. Did actually go for a second TC as well, the Byzantines. So definitely looking for more of an eco boom on this one. I guess being matched by the trade coming in. It is spotted by Crackedy, so might look to put down the mercenary house and try and get some military units out to come and take down this market. Would hamper the trade. 77 per trader, so pretty good if he does get this in. That's a 150-ish gold coming in nice and early. Will allow a very fast castle age if the Ayyubid player decides to do that. Another trader down here. Did he buy another trader? Oh, he must have trained it. He is indeed training traders. And a big wall up coming down. So very much looking for a trade boom. Possibly determined just by his choices that he had in the bazaar. We'll see how that goes for him. Interrupting a tower coming up just to protect this gold. Crackedy decides to move out. Decides he does need gold eventually. So see what he buys with that. Nothing to spend it on yet. A few economic upgrades perhaps. Maybe some of the double broad axe. Some extra wood income. He does have an awful lot of villagers on wood at the moment. That's 13. Maybe looking to put some production buildings down and start going on the aggressive or the defensive. But aggressive would be my guess. He will want to shut down this trade route or at least do significant damage to it before it starts getting out of hand. We've got some desert raiders coming in for the Ayyubids player, paired up with some hardened spearmen and some villagers moving out to the center of the map. I wonder where they're headed. Doesn't appear to have too much resources in the bank. Certainly not for a town center or anything like that. Maybe a proxy? Maybe he's dropping barracks down here, or nope, just some outposts. Looking to outpost up the opponent's gold. Interesting here. This is a lot of villagers to be pulling out this far. Obviously they're not gathering anything. We do see some of the Bedouin swordsmen coming in with some spearmen and one desert raider. Some aqueducts coming up now. Byzantine base already looking spectacular with the olive groves and the aqueducts and the... Love these windmills. These are great. Beautiful. So looks like KauP has decided to be the aggressor in this case. Definitely a good way to keep the enemy off your trade if you are distracting them fully in their own base. Towers coming up all over the place on this map. We've got two for the Ayyubids at the front of the Byzantines base. We've got arrow slits on a couple of them. And that's just giving some extra range and damage from both of these towers. Has managed to take everyone off of this gold, but did set up on another one over here. Very good placement actually, this tower. Nicely hitting all of the gold, but also not being hit by this tower. So well done by KauP. He's going tower crazy. He's got 3 up now. Not bringing in any stone. Maybe he's looking to buy some with the Trade Wing Bazaar. And another tower coming up. Absolute madness. He's completely towering the Byzantines player in. Keeping him very secure and locked down. We've got arrow slits coming from all of them. He has been getting that stone. I presume he has just been buying it with his market. The stone that he needs for these towers. As I don't see any of these have had any actual stone taken from them. So just utilizing all of this extra gold. 77 per trip from these traders. 240 in the bank. 576 per minute. So nearly 5 times, over 5 times the amount that the Byzantines player, Crackedy, is getting. This is absolute craziness. We've got never seen so many towers. Just firing off their arrows onto the buildings. It's not going to be doing too much damage, but it does stop, you know, units being created from the production at the front of the Byzantines base. Has lost a couple of his villagers. KauP has. But I'd say worth it. He's got 4 towers, possibly 5. Big attack coming in here. Nice stone upgrade on this outpost here. Very nice. We do have some longbowmen, so must have chosen the Western... Is it the Western trade mercenary contract? I don't know if it tells us. I believe this is the Western one. So he has access to longbow, Landsknecht, and Streltsy as the game goes on. This is going to be very annoying for Crackedy to deal with. I mean, these are just going to be firing off for a very long time until he can get some battering rams out, which he does have the wood for. Got a lot of units on wood actually, I guess, to help produce. Well, I don't know, because these cost olive oil, so not sure why so much wood. Possibly for the outposts and things. But no, he does have some Heresiphons. These are the Byzantines battering rams. They don't technically batter things. They set things on fire, which I'm sure we'll see very soon. These things are very cool. Let's watch this go. Look at these torches on the side of it. Man, that thing looks excellent. We'll see it get to work very shortly on these towers. No other supporting units. There we go. Wow. Yes, that is fantastic. Somehow avoiding damaging the barracks at all, but you know, it's very advanced technology that only burns your enemies. So we'll make short work of these towers now that he's got this Heresiphon. No idea how to actually pronounce that properly, so apologies if I am butchering it. These towers though, this was pretty crazy coming out from KauP here. Has allowed him to hit the castle age without investing too heavily in military units. He is at only 15, so we'll have to see what he transitions over to. Possibly Ghulams, they are very strong, or he might want to go for the camel lancers. We'll have to see. He does have a dervish coming out, so possibly looking to collect up some of these relics. He has one nice and safe. This one probably fairly easy to grab. Another one nice and safe behind his walls. So, and this one on the edge of his front line. So, probably going to be able to grab quite a few of these relics here, which is just going to bolster his gold income even further, which is already absolutely huge. Nearly 1,400 per minute versus the 180 per minute of CrackedyHere. Hasn't been able to access this gold line, his primary gold mine on the front, as he's just been under pressure since sort of 8 minutes into this game. Big force of hardened Limitine coming out now, which will do well against, well, they'll do okay against this military force from KauP. No archers, so won't be able to really access the shield wall, which gives them a reduction to range damage taken. These Heresiphons have taken out 4 of the 9 towers. Oh, not sure what happened there. Just throwing away a rather expensive dervish. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Interesting, possibly just a misclick. Does have a Manjaniq coming out for the ayyubids now. These do have 2 different abilities. They've got the normal mangonel attack, so big damage against units and buildings on average. Big fight coming down here, but he can switch over to the flaming projectiles, which are called just incendiary, and they will do a lot more damage to infantry and military units. Fairly conclusive fight there for the Byzantines. I guess these longbows just doing a lot of work. KauP did actually have a fairly, you know, pretty small force. Interesting push out, that one. I think maybe he was hoping that the Manjaniq would do a bit more work. Gonna have a quick drink of water while we admire this trade route coming down for KauP. He is up to 3841 now. Traders, 15 minutes in. That's absolutely insane. Oh my god, his gold income. All of these traders, 77 per trip. Holy moly, that's a lot of gold. That is a lot of gold. Popping some more towers around. Walling himself in. Keeping himself secure. I mean, really absolutely no pressure coming out from the Byzantines yet onto this trade route that KauP's got going. This is magnificent. Some farms now coming in. Farm transition for KauP. I think these are the first few. He's got a few by his town centre, but has another 3 markets here. Not too sure why these are here. If anyone knows why, because these were the first 2 he made. So why would you? Is that just to pump out more traders in a safer location? Perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back after the game and see when he actually built these and see if I can figure out why he might have built those. Pushing now, coming from the Byzantines. He did manage to kill a dervish looking to get this relic that was just on the, what's that, the southeast side of the map. Did manage to collect 2. Number 3 coming in. When these units first came out, I thought the relics would be on these little side bits. I thought I'd like carry them like 2 little precious children, maybe swaddled in these little hammocks kind of things. Alas, he does just carry it on his back like a normal monk unit. Maybe someone will mod it. I'd love to see them just carrying around 2 relics at a time. I don't know what that would be for. Maybe their mass heals double the radius, and it's a mass heal. We can only dream. Any more traders coming in? Up to 51 now. 18 minutes into the game. Well over 2,000 gold per minute for the Ayyubid player. And we did miss what he decided to choose for his Castle Age tech up. But most people have been choosing this one here. It's the culture tech up one, and it does give you a cheaper and quicker tech up to Castle Age. So I imagine that's the one he chose. Some units moving in for the Byzantines here, but I would imagine fairly outnumbered currently. But that is because most of his force is back here, so definitely not outnumbered. There are 80 to 35 on the military count, and he's going straight for the trade route. This could be devastating here if KauP loses a lot of traders, but he is going to fight it off. Gone heavy on the dervishes. That's going to be a lot of healing coming out. We'll see how well that goes in this upcoming fight. Let's zoom in here a little bit, get a better view. Plenty of longbowmen paired up with the Varangian Guard, the heavy melee infantry for the Byzantines. Longbowmen targeting down the dervishes, hampering any healing they are doing. I don't think any mass heals came down. I'm not sure it would even matter. There's not enough units to mass heal. The Ghulams are being shredded by the combination of crossbowmen and longbowmen coming out for the Byzantines here. The deer are scared. They're running off. One more Manjaniq, but he's going to get focused down. There is a second Manjaniq defending the first one, so that does get dealt with. So KauP does still have 2 siege units, which will do very well against this purely ranged army that CrackedyHere does have, has killed quite a few traders. Look at this. So many of them. I imagine KauP is still at plenty though. Let's have a quick look. He's more than previously. He's killing some villagers here. Crackedy has managed to kill 23 villagers. I presume that also includes the traders that he's killed. So 25 villagers and traders killed by the Byzantines. KauP is still on a higher economic count, higher siege count, but overall smaller military force. There is quite a substantial force building for the Byzantines at the front. A couple of sacred sites have been captured up, so just a bit more gold trickling in for both players. Ayyubids look pretty good in the orange. It's a good colour on them. Orange versus purple. Very pleasing. A couple of Manjaniq shots coming in. Good spread here for the Byzantines. Does have 4 Manjaniqs though on the back line. I'm curious why he's not changing over to the incendiary one, because I think it's a much larger spread and it's burning damage, so I think he would do significantly more damage than using the standard mangonel pile of rocks that he's firing. But you know, these guys are pro players. I am not a pro player, so they probably do know better. Springle coming in just in case of counter siege. But it doesn't look like Crackedy wants to make any siege. It's just fighting these Manjaniqs head on with a largely ranged composition. It's working okay for him. His numbers have been whittled down a little bit. We've got +2/+2 on most units. +1 on the ranged armor and melee armor for the Byzantines, and only +1 on the melee attack. But that one's kind of one of the least important military upgrades, as it just, percentage-wise, just doesn't do that much. We do have some Manjaniqs coming in, and they will tear through any sort of light armor units that KauP may have on the front line. Not sure how well they do against the Ghulams. I'm sure they do quite well. Big Manjaniq hits coming in there, taking out quite a lot of the Varangian guards. They have -3. That's because they swapped out to their axe. So they have an ability. Can we see it here? They can go berserking. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of mangonels. KauP putting good use of his gold here. It is still under attack, but he does have 61 active traders. Byzantines have killed 47, 48, nearly 49. Will KauP come and deal with this, or does he just think he can outproduce how many traders these longbows are killing? They've definitely paid for themselves here. He's back down to 58. That was so many going down. But yes, this Manjaniq force, he's got 10 on the field. I would love to see him swap out all of these for the incendiary shots. I think that would look absolutely magnificent. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Wallalow coming down just to defend all of these Manjaniqs. Nice use of the mechanic. Wow, making light work of all of this force that the Byzantines have. I mean, what do you do here? He needs plenty. Oh, that was a big hit on those longbowmen, and obviously they're very susceptible to the Manjaniqs. Basically the great counter to the longbow. Absolutely no siege coming in for CrackedyHere. Have a quick look in his base. Oh, look at this. We haven't... There's a lot going on over here, but I was just going to see if he had a siege workshop of any kind. What are these? These are barracks. Plenty of barracks coming down. I don't see any siege workshops anywhere. He does have foreign engineering company, so that's his siege workshop, I guess. None of those will particularly deal with the Manjaniqs, though. He still needs springles, really. The cannons will do an alright job, but yes, springles or the... Oh man, what's the one that actually counters siege? The culverin. That's what he needs. He needs about 20 culverin. What's he going to produce from this foreign engineering company then? So he can trade olive oil for nester bees, hui hui pows, or royal cannons. So very strong siege, very expensive siege. 600 olive oil for the nester bees and 1,000 for the hui hui pow, and 900 for the royal cannon. But I guess you could get sort of 1 nester bees every minute, which doesn't sound that great. Looking at the amount of olive oil income he's got, which, you know, that's a lot of olive oil farms, olive grove farms. How many does he have? Can we see that? He has 58. Wow. And still only sort of just in the 700 per minute of the olive oil. And yeah, he's got to use that to, wow, that's a big force coming out very quickly. I was going to say, he's got to use that to buy all of these units here. Huge army, just almost instant there. I guess save up a bit of olive oil and boom, you've got half an army. And they're heading straight towards the southeast flank. Push through this wall, but they're going to have a problem. There is a stone wall there, so he will need some siege to get through that. We'll see what he decides to create. I think these... Oh, there we go. He switched over to the incendiary one. Won't do any damage against the keep, really, but it does look so cool. I mean, when you've got this many, you got 10 mangonels, it's going to do some damage. Just raining down. Has switched some over, I think. Oh my god. Well, there goes that keep. Who needs battering rams, trebuchets, or cannons when you've got 10 Manjaniqs firing incendiary rounds? Whew, that's pretty cool. Love that unit. I don't know how good it is, really. We need to see it in action against actual units. CrackedyHere working on taking down the stone wall on this flank from the ayyubids base. But is putting up a secondary layer. He needs to get an army over here pretty quickly. Has hit the Imperial Age. I keep missing all of these age ups. It's pretty bad of me. He did go with the military one, which I think... yes, so in the Imperial Age, well, in any age actually, but the one he's chosen gives him Desert Raiders at certain intervals, possibly every minute or 2 minutes. We'll see. One's popped out now. Every 2 minutes. And I think he gets 3 of them. Where did they go? He is pop capped. So he didn't get any. What's interesting is I did see BC talking about this upgrade. And it actually just stockpiles them. So say he's generated 3 now. In 2 minutes or a minute and a half, he'll generate another 3. And they'll just be in there. So if he ever takes a bad fight and he's got 20 Desert Raiders stored up in his House of Wisdom, they will all pop out immediately. And that's what we wanted to see. The incendiary fire coming down, raining down on these infantry here. Absolutely decimating this front line of the Byzantines. We need to see this fire rain down on these longbowmen on the back line. Oh, there it is. The burn damage. I mean, how do you avoid that? I don't think you do. There's no way. They're all dead. Oh my god, look at this. Scorched earth coming in. And the sounds. The sounds are amazing. That was excellent. Still got 10. Crackedy seems... Oh, it's so cool. Just raining fire down across the battlefield. Going to be taking out another keep with the Manjaniqs. Just nothing can get anywhere near them. They are absolute machines of destruction. I do wonder why Crackedy has decided to completely forego any sort of counter siege. Who knows? I don't know. I probably would have quit out by this point. Surrendered, but Crackedy must think he can still, you know, he still has something, still has skin in the game. But still no siege, or sorry, counter siege. I don't know if Byzantines have access to the culverin. Does he actually have a siege workshop anywhere? I don't think he does. No siege workshops. Just the large queue of nester bees. Which, you know, that's going to do the same sort of thing as the Manjaniqs are doing. But KauP already has 10 of them. So it's going to take a long time for the Byzantines to get to any sort of same number. He's got 6 in queue. A couple more Heresiphons coming out to help get through these stone walls. Turning into a bit of a slog here. Lots of back and forth. But I do think this trade, he's up to 70, has been relatively untouched. KauP has had double or triple the gold income of the Byzantines for nearly the entire game. At least the last 25 minutes, I would say. Manjaniqs even making relatively short work of the battering rams. Just wiped off the face of the map in a cloud of fire and black smoke. How did this get back here? Must have just been biding its time. Does get taken out. Not really doing any damage. Does look like it took out a market though. But yes, nothing significant. Wow, KauP going all in on the towers. He's reminiscing about the start of the game when he had 9 or 10 towers at the front of the Byzantine base, and now he wants 9 or 10 towers at the back of his base. Loves those towers. Loves towers, loves Manjaniqs. You can say what you want about KauP, but those two things, they are very true. Still on 10 Manjaniqs. Relatively small force, really. Otherwise, what's he got? He's got 13 hand cannoneers and some elite camel lancers. Where are they? Have we seen? We saw some of those. Here they are. Decked out. They're actually only veteran. Oh, that's the Desert Raider. The camel archers, camel lancers do have their elite upgrade. Should probably get the elite upgrade for the camel raiders. Charging into a force they do not want to charge into. The Byzantine force made up primarily of the elite Varangian Guard. Man, the range on the incendiary fire as well. I love it. Absolutely love it. What a unit. The rate they fire at as well. I mean, I think we used to think nester bees were pretty strong, but the Manjaniqs are just putting them out of business, I would say. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Big force of buffed up berserking Varangian guards here, taking out many workers of the ayyubids. I don't think KauP really cares how many workers he loses. He has lost 136 this game, and he's still on 118, with 73 of them being traders. A little raid coming in now. Haven't seen this for about 20 minutes. Big fight in the middle. We don't want to miss any of these big Manjaniq fire really, do we? Look at this coming down. Let's see if we can follow these volleys. Wow, they move too quickly. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit. Whoa, look at this. I don't think there's much to say, really, is there? What do you do? I mean, I think we had the answer. It's springalds, maybe horsemen. I know horsemen do quite a lot of bonus damage to siege, or they do a lot of siege damage. Maybe a large army of horsemen could have worked fairly early on, or earlier on. But didn't decide to do that, was just sticking to his guns. The Varangian guards with some longbowmen and crossbowmen worked in. Has not worked out this time. The Manjaniqs are very much pushing into the Byzantines' base. Let's get a nice angle here. Follow these Manjaniqs pushing in. I think this spelled the end for CrackedyHere and the Byzantines player. I had turned up the music for this cast as I wanted to hear it a bit more. But if the Manjaniq fire isn't music to your ears, I don't know what is. I guess if you're a Byzantine main, you don't want to see this. Maybe close your eyes for the next minute or two, just until it's over. Hey, the little water leaks out the aqueducts. I had not seen that. I don't think I've seen an aqueduct be destroyed yet. Nice little touch there. The Byzantines, beautiful, even when being destroyed. Manjaniqs taking out the primary town centre of CrackedyHere. The olives are burning. No one wants burnt olive oil. Oh, immediate destruction from all of these olive groves. Simultaneous volleys coming out here from the Manjaniqs. Cannons as well, backing up the Manjaniqs, taking out the buildings. An absolutely huge trade boom in this game coming from KauP, which has just allowed him to completely overrun the Byzantines player. Even with so much olive oil coming in, was not able to get enough mercenaries, enough siege. No wheepie pows coming out. I think this is the end. A slow death. Oh! And it finished. Okay. Maybe someone quit out and didn't surrender. We will never know. But, what a game. Let's talk about that a bit more in the post-game lounge. Well, that was an exciting game. I don't think I've ever seen that many Manjaniqs before in one place, but that was quite something. They really caused a lot of destruction and difficulty for our Byzantines player. A couple of notes on that game after sort of reviewing once I'd casted it. The Byzantines do have access to siege workshops, obviously, but they don't have access to culverins. So, you know, he still had access to springalds. I do feel like a few springalds earlier on in the game, once he started to see the Manjaniqs. I think there were points where there was only sort of 3 on the field. You know, either that or getting some cavalry out would have helped dealing with the Manjaniqs as well. The mercenary contract that he went with didn't have any cavalry in it. So perhaps once he had spotted the trade He could have chosen the Eastern mercenary contract. That would have given him Keshiks in the feudal age, which could have helped just dealing with that trade route that was established by the ayyubids player. Just a few takeaways, you know, bring out into your own games if you are playing the Byzantines. But yeah, I think really well played by the ayyubid player, utilizing the options that he got in the House of Wisdom, his trade bazaar tech up, allowing him to get those early traders out and then growing his trade routes from there. And the use of the towers around 7.5 minutes just to block in the Byzantines player, stop him raiding the ayyubids trade line, slowing him down. I think just very well played there. And I did mention that I missed the Castle Age age up, and he did go for Culture Wing Advancement, which is the cheaper and quicker age up option from the Culture Wing, and that was at around 12 minutes, so very early, quick age up there. But yeah, great game, fun game to cast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any comments, please leave them below. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll see you in the next one. See you later.